Hello, everybody, and welcome back to day 33 of the Road to 2K on Chess.com Rapid. Starting today's game, we're at 1828, and it looks like our opponent today is going to be an 1848 from Brazil. We do get the white pieces, so we're going to start with e4, and when we see e5, lately we've been playing knight to c3, and after knight to f6, we play the Vienna gambit. Now, the gambit was accepted this time, so the best move here is e5. Then we follow up with knight f3. When the pawn comes out, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and play d4. And if they take, we now play... What is the move? I think the move... Why am I blanking all of a sudden? Is it bishop e2 in castles? It might be. Because it's not takes. Is it knight takes? Knight takes, queen back. And we're kind of blanking on our theory. This is not good. Queen e2 pins this. And then we can play this. So I think we're going to go for it. Queen e2. I think I played the opening slightly wrong, which is unfortunate. I love the Vienna Gambit normally. One of my favorite openings in chess. But essentially the argument is that you are significantly ahead in development with the Vienna Gambit. So this comes out. So at this point, I'm inclined to play queen check. The queen comes out. And if we, in this position, play bishop takes, we can get into this structure, and we're still way ahead in development. So I think we're going to do this. And now we take back with the knight, counterattacking the bishop. And our opponent does have to be careful to not lose a piece here. Here, what we can do is we can play, if we play e5, they're forced back to one of these squares, or they're forced this way. So let's play d5. The bishop comes all the way back. I think here I would like to, if I take here, this is going to come in. So maybe we long castle. And we didn't play the opening correctly, but we're not being punished for the way that we played the opening. So bishop to b5 feels like a good idea here, or a fair idea. Knight takes, we're threatening here. And I don't see any reason to not go ahead. If we push the pawn, we're defended. This is a check. So we're going to do just that. And our opponent goes there. Now if we check here, this looks forced, we'll take. And this looks just crushing. I don't see any reason not to play rook he1. Our opponent does have to be careful of our discovered attack. This always feels like a move. Whether it is a move or not is left to be decided. But here, let's play the knight back. Our opponent, can they still castle? They can't. And if we do this check, we should just be picking up the rook. because this is still pinned. Let's take once. We can pull our... Actually, if we go here, knight takes, rook check, rook here, takes here, and we'll get into an endgame, but I don't know if I want that endgame. So let's hold on to this passed pawn on c7. And if we just play c4 here, our opponent does opt to go for this line. Let's take, and we emerge up all that stuff for one pawn. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and get our pieces on light squares. Our opponent wants to trade down, which in this position I think I'm completely fine trading down. We'll maybe play rook to e4 to be active. Bring our king up into the position. And we're down a pawn, but it's not the end of the world. Here I think I'm fine if he wants to take. I am tempted to play h4. h5 looks fair. And the question becomes, how do we advance in the position? If we come up and our opponent steps up to d5, do we actually have this? Maybe we play g4. And if takes, we take here. It's not the most clear. We do only have two pawns, so we don't want to just throw away the entire advantage. If we play c5, king up, rook here, bishop takes, king takes, or pawn takes. Here, en passant, takes, king over, king in. We don't get in yet. But if we play here now, we can step into the position. There's these two passed pawns to worry about, so we definitely don't want to trade it off. So let's play h5. Maybe we play a3, bishop b2. Ooh, not the greatest position for us. I don't see any reason to not play rook f4. And if we play h3 and they push forward, we just take here. If we play h3 and they ignore us, we push. So let's do that. h3, h6. And I think really importantly here is our pawns are on opposite sides of the board, and our opponent resigns. So let's go ahead. Let's look at the game review and see how we actually did. So today we didn't play as well. We played with a 73.4, but our opponent played with a 68.5. After e4, e5, and we get into Vienna Gambit accepted, e5 is the critical move, knight f3, and d4 was correct. Now after d captures e5, I think the move might have actually been to play bishop to e2. It's definitely not to take, and it's not knight takes. So I don't know what the best move was. Oh, I keep forgetting. It's bishop to b5. With the idea that if they push this pawn, you come right back to c4. And I think even worse is if they go here, you immediately play queen e2, stopping the pin. Bishop has to come out. And I think you actually here push for the fork. Because after takes, we now have knight takes, and this is a discovered attack. It's tough to get out of. But we forgot our theory. We played queen to e2, bishop g4. We capture a free pawn. And the critical move here says is to play knight to d5, which I had forgotten, because after takes, you're attacking the bishop, and there's not enough time to actually defend the rook, so you win the bishop there. So quite sad. We simply play bishop captures f4. We trade down, and we find similar ideas with d5, bishop d7, and long castles. But then we threw away the hold advantage. We gained some of it back because our opponent gives it to us. And d6, although I thought was initially a pretty good move, was wrong. It actually just wanted us to immediately play for this discovered attack because it's not easy to be able to stop it. And the idea here is with a move like bishop to b4, which the engine is showing, is if we preemptively go in and try and move the knight for this check, we're going to lose the rook. And it's still winning, but not as winning as it could be. But after c6, we play knight c7, which is wrong again. I guess you have to sack the knight and play this, because there is now no bishop to b4. But if we missed it the first time, I doubt we're seeing it the second time. Knight c7, d capture c7, and after this, rook he1, bishop e7, knight c4 was correct, knight d5, and we play this to win the rook. Now, what I was thinking about here was there's a line where you can maybe play rook captures bishop. And after this, you can go check, rook takes here, takes, and here. But I did miss that f6 is kind of the critical approach there. But instead, it says that our best move would probably be to sack the rook, because if takes, we win the bishop. And unfortunately, that's a move that I should see every time. I only took 20 seconds here, so shame on me for not finding that. And then when we got into this endgame, I could tell it was better, but in regards to actually proving it, is not the easiest thing to do. My idea here was that if bishop takes, we do have pawn takes, and then we're attacking the bishop, and this is ready to push. But we got into this position, and this entire time the engine is just screaming for c5. But I was worried about this move here. And I guess after rook to f4, it almost forces us to come back, because if our opponent, I don't know. I guess they don't really have any other option. If they stay in the position, I believe what we're able to do is, can we actually sack the rook? We cannot, because then this will run. So check here, and probably, yeah, at that point we start running the pawn. Same idea as we did before. But we don't find those moves again. We looked at it, didn't play it. h5. We can stop all the pawns on this side, and we find this really nice move of h6, where if takes, obviously we go ahead and take back here. If our opponent pushes through, then we also take. And so really, there's no good way to stop this pawn. I think you have to just let it go. And after pawn up here to try and defend the square, you sack the rook, you promote with check, and you should be able to win this endgame every single time. But alas, this is where we get. So these were our stats for today. Here was the blunders and misses. I appreciate all the support on the videos. It's been super fun to put this content out for y'all. If you have any further questions or comments on how I can improve, let me know. And if you can, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Both help to push this out and continue to expand that audience. So I will see you guys on the next episode.